I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus.
Hello, welcome to my channel Judge All Nation. In this video, Christian Prince will make understanding and education about Islam to all Muslims. Also, Christian Prince educates Muslims that in the Lord Jesus there is truth and no other. Now let's take a look and see what Christian Prince will tell you by arguing with Muslims. Enjoy watching this video and God bless you.
Bahis?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Bahi. Are you Baha'i?
Hey, Sivi. I don't know if you remember me. We had I think it was like a couple of months before. Me and you had a talk, if you remember.
I don't remember. Go ahead.
You don't remember?
No,
Or
sorry.
if you remember?
I
Okay. All right. No, I've been writing audios on Patreon. If you remember, I had some doubts. I'm a Muslim.
don't.
And we had it was like 3 months before. And I have been also talking to you in Skype. And we had a discussion about, because as last time I told you, I was a little bit doubtful about Islam.
All right.
And as I follow your channel, day by day it goes, so I feel more unsecure. And that's why I wanted to come speak to you again.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you don't remember, we can take it from the start, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. So how I can help you?
Of course, just a small thing. The thing is, today, actually, I was on the other live with a different Muslim group. I don't know if you know this group, Abdool Bhais, because I want to hear even from them their answer before. And luckily, you had also your live today, so it's perfect for me. The one thing I noticed there, I remember one of your debates or live, like some weeks ago, you have speak to somebody regarding a contradiction, and there were two verses which you talked to someone. It was chapter 4, verse 3.
Okay.
And when you talked to this man, you told even about the contradiction, the same chapter and the verse 129.
Yeah.
If you remember, or yeah, if you can.
Okay. Okay.
And so this was one of the things when I wanted to have an answer from this Muslim group, where I would like to know their understanding, and even they showed me succeed. So if you just quick give me your understanding of the verse, because as I understand from them, which they told me because I mentioned that I have heard this about from other group, I didn't name you, and they told me when you speak to some Christian or you in the life, they always have the agenda. They won't really tell you the whole truth. Just regarding this verse, they told me like, what was it that you understand from this verse and the tafsir they showed you? And they told me they are not showing the whole picture. And the example is, for example, if you check the chapter 4, verse 3, regarding like what are the criteria to marry 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
like you have to be just. And when you showed this contradiction to someone else, like, well, verse 129, that God have said you can never be just to your wives. And when they showed me the tafsir for this, and they told me verse 3, they are speaking about like you have to be justice in the meaning of materialistic thing, like housing, clothes, in that manner. And this verse 129, they speak like you cannot be equal in the matter of feelings, because it's like impossible to, like you cannot divide your feelings, like it's hard to measure it. So they told me that's the understanding, and so in that case, this is not a contradiction.
Okay. Well, first of all, you see just the hypocrisy is what the Quran is saying. If you fear not to be just, where is the food? Where is the clothing? Does it say anything about that in the verse?
I checked the commentaries. I was in this site,
Before we go to interpretation, because the interpretation, they have to bring it from the Quran anyway. They cannot fabricate their own, right?
Right?
But the Muslim, they always fabricate. Does the Quran says anything about if you fear not to be just with their food, with their clothing? Or it says if you fear not to be just, and that's it?
The thing is, like, as we also spoke before, you have told us we have to check the tafsir because
No,
they
no
have
problem,
been
no
following it
problem, no
for
problem. But remember,
many months.
but remember,
Yeah.
the tafsir is when there is a problem in the Quran, the tafsir is to defend, not to explain, because the verse is so clear. If you are afraid to be just, so one. Did the Quran ever says just about what? Just is just. This is marriage. You have to be just in everything. And if we go to the verse, the one you mentioned, chapter 4, 129, all right?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
it says, you will never be able to be fair as just as between women, even if you, here, just to explain to you more, even if you try like to divert your feeling. But this is not about feeling, this is about being just still, because feeling is not to be counted. Because didn't you marry those women because you like them all anyway? So this is not about feeling. This is not about food. It's about everything. If we go, when they say to you, read the interpretation, what interpretation they told you to read?
Now I don't have it, but I think it was Ibn Abbas or Jalalain. I just checked. I think
All
they
right.
refer to
We will go to
Ibn
Jalalain. Okay, we will go to Jalalain. This is a Jalalain. And the good, they have it in English here in this website. All right. Read it.
I don't see you in the screen. It's
You,
not
you
coming
don't
up.
see my screen?
No, I don't see the tafsir. I just see the verse.
Oh, maybe it's going to take time. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So here it says, if you fear not to be equable, with the spending, money, etc., yeah. So this is their interpretation. But if we go by this condition, if you cannot be equal in your spending, then don't marry, correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right. Let us go now to Muhammad. Then those who say to you what they say, they have to admit that Muhammad did not follow the Quran and he is a bad person. Because remember, they said to you, this is about being fair in your spending. In the way,
Yes, as their understanding and the tafsir.
in material, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we go in the hadith, we will find that the wives of Muhammad, they complain about Muhammad. He don't treat them equally about what? About money. So if this is what it is about, then the first one to reject is Muhammad. He cannot be a prophet of God. He is the worst of men. I'm just trying to find you the hadith when it says, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me find a different way. Let us see.
Just a small comment on this. The reason why I just chose these two words, it was because I wanted to explain to me the contradiction, and they told me, as you look at the tafsir, it's speaking about two different things. In
No,
that
no
way, it's not
problem.
a
But just to show you how Muslim they lie when even they make interpretation to, Ibn Kathir, when he wrote his interpretation, he was trying to refute the Christian, not to explain the Quran. Read with me. Does it say that the wives of Muhammad, they are asking him to be fair? Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm just reading it.
Okay.
Or where you want me to, like, you want me to read the whole thing, or is it
You can read it if you want. I will give you the link so you can save it. All right.
okay?
Here we go. So they are complaining about what? Muhammad is not being fair. Fair in what? Let me give you the link. And even the word in Arabic is ta'adul. ينشدنك العدل. They are asking you to be just. Even if you read different translation to the same hadith, you will see it more. This is Sahih Muslim. They are asking Muhammad, to be just. That's all. And just about what? About money. So all this is about what? About the wives of Muhammad. They are not treated in equal rank. Muhammad, he said to his daughter, which is not his real daughter, don't hurt me in Aisha. Aisha is not equal to any of them. You see how many times? All the stories here. So Fatima now, the women after women, they come into him. She enters, she said, O Messenger of Allah, your wife sent me to seeking equity in case of the daughter of Abu Quhafa, which means Aisha. And Muhammad refused. So what was the problem? It was about money. All is about money. All the gifts, all the money go to the house of Aisha. The wives of Muhammad don't get the same as Aisha. So if the Quran, and if we go with those Muslims who say what they say to you, that the Quran talking about being equal in your spending, so why Muhammad cannot be equal in his spending, in the gifts they receive, in the money they receive?
Just before you go there, but you told about this topic before, that this is a contradiction. So back to, like, if we just, before we go to the hadith, like what Prophet did, but what I want to know, is it a contradiction still? Like, can you explain me further?
It is a contradiction,
like,
first, because it says just. It doesn't say it's about food. It doesn't say anything. It says if you cannot be just, you cannot. You cannot be just. The first verse does not say just about what. Same time, the chapter number 4, it says you will never be just. The 129.
But if you check the tafsir, yeah, like just to see the tafsir, what I'm seeing also right in front of me,
all right,
and they are telling different things. They say the one is telling in the maintenance, and the other one is talking about feelings. So they're two different things. So how can I say it? Like,
I will go with you. So if the first one is speaking about being just by spending, the second one about just by feeling. But isn't it obvious that nobody can be just in feeling anyway? I mean, this is stupid to say. Same time, why the Muslims, they cannot be just in their feeling? If they are saying that they are marrying women and they are treating them equally. So so the Muslim, they are saying to us that they have fake feeling for some women, real feeling for someone. Why you marry her anyway? So he marry her because he don't like her? He don't like her? He hate her? He favor this one over this one? Are we talking about goats? The verse in the Quran says, you will never be able to be fair. And the continue is just saying to you, even if you try, even if you have a desire to do so, even if you desire to do so, this is not about nothing to do with what they are saying. Even if you desire not to do so, you will not succeed. We're speaking about a feeling. Do you see the word feeling?
yes, not in this translation, but they show me a different translation from Quran.com.
No, it says tamilu kull al-mail, which means you, like, even if you try not to take a side. This is not about, there's nowhere the word feeling is mentioned. Nowhere. Where is the word feeling? You know what? I will use English translation, automatic. Even though sometimes YouTube, like, you take what Muslims say, but I will go with it. All right? Do you see anywhere it says feeling?
No, not in this.
And you will not be able to treat women justly, even if you strive. So do not incline completely, lest you leave her hanging. And if you are reconcilable and fearful, then indeed, God is forgiving and merciful.
There is no, the word feeling does not exist. This false translation.
But if they were showing the tafsir, so how to refute, like how to, even like, I had a talk with them,
Well,
but
you know,
right at the
if
moment.
the Muslims, because the Muslims, you see, the Muslim, they have to cover up for the contradiction. It's simple. If they agree, because many Muslim, they question this. How in the world one verse says you have to be just, and the other verse it says you cannot be just. Same time, the verse I showed you, the hadith I showed you, Muhammad, he broke both, because he is unjust in spending and he is unjust in feeling. You know what I mean?
Yes, I had just a question regarding that also. If I remember correctly, Prophet had like 9 wives. That was also one of the questions that what I asked him regarding like, okay, as Quran state there are up to 4 wives, but our Prophet had more than 4 wives. And what's the reasoning, or like why is it in that way? The only answer what I get from them, which I didn't find convincing either, it was they said this is special for our Prophet. They refer to some words in the Quran. I don't remember right now, but they said this is only for our Prophet. In that case, we could like break this rule, if you can put it like that way.
But this is even more ugly. All cult leaders, they make a privilege, sexual privilege for them. So if Muhammad they say that Muhammad is the best man, the best man, he cannot be just. So how a normal Muslim will be just? If he is the best of mankind, he is not just with his wives. How the rest of the Muslim will be just? In the top of that, if Muhammad, and they confirm that Muhammad have a privilege, and those privileges about sex and money, isn't it this is a clear evidence that Muhammad is a fraud? Did Musa have a privilege? Did the Isa in Islam have a privilege about sex, about money? Why only Muhammad? Did Abraham have a privilege about sex and money? So Muhammad, he hijacked those names, but just all of those names is just to serve him. Muhammad, he have 16 privilege. Privilege number 11. If his eyes fall into a woman, her husband must divorce her, so the Prophet can F her. Is that even fair? He's not even fair with Muslims. His eyes fall into a woman. This is something you can believe it happened. Hitler doing that. Saddam Hussein doing that.
See, that's the thing that I told you, if you don't remember from our first meeting, there are many things. I've been a Muslim like since I was born. I'm a practicing Muslim, but lately, both due to like your channel, I follow many Sam Shamoun, God Logic, but I still don't feel like I'm not probably convinced. At the same time, I don't know what to do. So that's the reason why I'm speaking always with the both group. Like, we have a chat like 2 times. This is the 3rd one. I have been speaking in their life, but I really don't find a convincing answer.
I'm giving you a convincing answer because it's obvious. The Quran never said this is about feeling. The Quran never said, it says you cannot be just in both of them. You have to be just, you cannot be just. Nowhere the word feeling appeared. This is a fabrication. Same time, it's obvious Muhammad, he himself never practiced what the Quran asked him for, which is a clear evidence that Muhammad don't even care for what Allah said. And when we see like this is the book of Al-Qurtubi, and as long the Muslim agree with the interpretation, correct?
Yes, they told me
Well, this is
that
the interpretation. Look what it says. Muhammad have a privilege. This is the interpretation. He have 16 privilege. 16 privilege. More than 10 of them is about sex and money. So here it says, look at this is privilege number 10 in this book. If the prophet, his eyes fall into a woman, her husband must divorce her so the prophet can F her.
For the 10th, if he sees a woman, her husband must divorce her and it is permissible for him to marry her.
This is false, doesn't say marry, it says to F her. However, why the husband must divorce her and why the prophet like in a married woman? Isn't this is haram? So the privilege of Muhammad, and now if you show them this, they will say we don't accept the hadith, we don't accept the tafsir. This is the tafsir. So as long as we are talking about fair, is it fair that because he's a prophet he can steal my wife from me? Are we talking about chicken?
No, this is good that you're showing me reference, because when I tried to speak to them, they told me always bring us the reference, so like bring us the tafsir. And at the moment, I don't have it. That's the reason why, luckily, I'm talking to you, because this is not really like I don't trust. But for me to get convinced, I need to like speak more times and give them a chance to explain. Because of, you know, they can say if I talk to CP or some Christians, they can have their own agenda, and that's the reason why I still, even I can see the. As I told you, I've been following your life always, so I can understand. Can you explain to me one more verse, if it's all right?
Okay, but don't expect Muslims to agree with me. Do you really think they will agree?
No, they don't agree. But
no. Do you expect them to agree for a second? They will not. So, you know, before you go there, that they will not agree. And as you see, when we talk about fear, what is fear in Islam? It's a joke. What fear? He see your wife, he take her. The wives of Muhammad, they come complaining to him. And he proved that he is bad in both spending and feeding. And even he compared Aisha to the dish. He said Aisha is the same as a meat dish for me compared to the rest. So they were complaining about money. He confirmed that Aisha is his favorite. He liked her more. And that's why the spending is different. So Muhammad, he broke both. If the Muslim, they will say this is about spending, we have to be fair. Well, the best man of the Muslims, he was not fair. Same time, we knew that nobody can be fair in spending. How we knew that? Very simple. Muhammad himself, when Sauda, she got older, Muhammad even he stopped going to her. Which means she is not receiving any kind of care from Muhammad. In fact, she received a threat that Muhammad is going to divorce her. Why? Because she is getting older, not because she is a bad woman. So Muhammad is not the best example for the Muslims. He is the worst example. When like Mimi Hijab and Liya Dawa, they make a video says you can lie to your wife about your secret marriage. Why they do that? And what kind of religion allows such a thing to happen? Why we have secret marriage? We do secret things secretly because it's a shame, not because we are proud of it. So if I go now, I want to fart, I have to mute the microphone because it's not proper to do so. If I want to barb I will mute the microphone. If I do, I will go to pee, I'm not going to, even there's no camera, I want to take the microphone with me so people will hear me. So we do things secretly because it's not right to do it publicly. But is getting married publicly is wrong? In Islam, yes. To the point they have secret marriage. So everything in Islam is backward, backward. In one hand, they say Islam teach you to be honest. But if you cannot be honest even with your wife, you'll be honest with who? If Muhammad said you can lie to three, your family, your friends, your enemy, who's left? So
show me the reference just so I can have it in case I need the
reference for what?
Yeah. You told me like the Prophet told us about you can lie in some matters.
Oh yeah, you can lie. All that I know. The Quran says you can use taqiyya too. The Quran actually, says Allah will not take you accountable for any false oath you take. Which means you can you can take a false oath. As an example, chapter 2. What the Quran is saying, as long as not intentional. Well, all false oath, what they are, we make them, we don't mean them. That's why they're false. I swear to you, I say to you, I swear by Allah, I swear by Allah, I am telling the truth. Obviously, it's not my intention to tell the truth. The Muslim here, they will give you different reason. They will say, no, like if somebody says, I swear by because he's angry. No, no, no. First of all, the Bible says it clearly, say yea, yea, or nay, nay. Anything else is from the devil. So the Quran, this is not the hadith, encouraging Muslim to use the name of Allah falsely. And Allah will not take you accountable for your false oath. So Allah will take you accountable for what? For the truthful oath. Even that one, it turned to be false. Chapter 66, verse number 1. Muhammad, he took an oath not to have sex with Mary the Copt after his wife's getting busted. 2 days after he broke his oath, claiming that Allah told him, why you fabricate something I did not tell you. So when the Muslim, they say something, you need to know the Muslims are allowed to swear by Allah lying, because their intention, as long as they don't mean it, it's fine, as long as they mean something else. So the Muslim, he can say I swear, but he don't say even the name of Allah. Or even if he say the name of Allah, but as long in his heart he don't mean it, it's okay. Especially if he is using taqiyya. Like if we go chapter 3, verse number 28, it says clearly, you can speak to non-Muslims in a friendly way, but your heart is like this. So as long as your heart is like this, you're fine. You can swear, you can say things. If you mean them, you are in trouble. Like if you say to the Christians, I respect you, I honor you. If you take them as a friends for real, you are not a Muslim no more. And this is the Quran, chapter 3, verse number 28. Read with me carefully. So the one who take the Christians and the Jews as a friends, and he is sincere. Do you see it? He is sincere. So what the problem here? He is sincere. The problem is not because he is not sincere. The problem is established because he is sincere. So a sincere Muslim taking Christians and Jews as a friends, he is not a Muslim no more. Who is seeking honor by taking the hypocrite and disbelievers as a friends, he has no connection with Allah. What the problem? He is sincere. He has no honor. What the problem? He is sincere. No mercy, no protection, which means Muslim can rape his wife, kill him. All of this because he is sincere.
So you can explain the word sincere? I don't really get your point.
My point is, You are expecting the Muslim to be sincere when they are forbidden to be sincere. A good Muslim is the one who is not sincere. The second you are sincere, you are not a Muslim. Speaking to them, read carefully. Unless you are not sincere, unless it be you guard yourself against them, save yourself from them, taking it as security, serving yourself from them by speaking in a friendly way toward them while your heart is like this. So a Muslim is allowed to lie. And you are asking Muslims, hoping that they are telling you the truth. This is the religion of the devil. There is no way Jesus will teach us that we can lie to people, speak to them in a friendly way while we hate them. That is not from God. So what I showed you already, Muhammad himself is not fair in his spending and in emotion, which means he is against the Quran totally. And we can show tons of stories about the companion of Muhammad. They did the same. All of them.
If you could explain also one more verse, it was in one of your life also regarding, I think it was on chapter Anu about
Chapter what?
you had Nur, I think it was chapter Nur. It was about
An-Nur 24. Okay.
Nur. Yes, I think it was about because the caller who have been spoke to you, he referred to Farid, and you show one of the clip where Farid told him like you can be pimp if you remember the verse. I don't know exactly the verse number.
Yeah, you know this is about al-Bagha.
I don't know the Arabic word, but what I mean that when I checked the verse in your life, you told me like if you force them to prostitution, God is forgiving. And I checked I take this verse and talk to this Muslim life, and he told me this is not about like God is forgiving if you force them to fornication. This is the God is forgiving if they force the slave girl. So they were not like referring.
Okay. You heard the video of Fifi, and the other.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay. So how come if I say this is about fornication, about being pimp, they say Christian Prince is lying. When they talk to each other, they say this is about being pimp. You saw the videos, Muslims speaking alone. They agree this is about being pimp. So now when they talk to you, why they are saying to you it's not? Who's telling the truth then? They lie. Here, why Allah even need to forgive them? They did not commit any sin. Same time, what is the punishment? Those who they are doing pimping, if there's a punishment for them? No. It's permitted. And look, the same verse says, force not those girls to do prostitution if they choose, which means if they choose to work as a prostitute, it's okay. Right?
I'm coming to it. So when I check the tafsir of this, as we just take the last passage, Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. As I understand from their understanding, what tafsir is speaking about, Allah is forgiving the mates. Like if someone forced to do something, some illegal, like prostitution.
So what about the guys?
I didn't ask them about that. So for me, I wanted to ask them
what about the guys? You see, after you force them, Allah is all merciful. It doesn't say merciful to them. This is a false translation. The word them does not exist.
If you can show me the tafsir, because I don't know which tafsir they took it for me.
You can go and read all tafsir you want. You keep coming back, word tafsir. The verse in the front of you He's saying it clearly. Force them not if they choose not. But if they choose, it's okay. So the verse here is not about it is not right to do prostitution and to be a pimp. It's about if you force them or not to force them. So let us say, for the sake of argument, Allah will forgive the girls, not the guys. Where in the Quran it says those guys will be punished? Where is the punishment for the pimp? Like, here we go, the story in front of us. Those people are punishing, they are forcing girls to do prostitution. If there is a statement saying we will punish you, no. Where is the punishment? There's no punishment. Why? Because it doesn't make any difference. Force them not if they choose. If they, if they choose chastity, but if they choose not, it's okay. What if the girls? What if the girls agree? No problem. So here, and those are slaves anyway.
Let's just give you the tafsir, the whole tafsir. Like, they give me the background information. They said this is a contract between the slave mates with their owner, and the tafsir, like, it was a long tafsir. They show me the background is, if the mates want to get free, that's the reason why they want to do this prostitution, to pay them their free money. But they are like,
what free money?
To pay them so they can be free.
Pay them to be free?
The slaves, but in order for them to be free, like, they have to pay amount.
That's false. The slave don't make money. The slave, when she make money, the owner, he will have the money. That's a lie. The women, she don't get paid. She don't get paid. It says there in front of you, force them not to make money. The one who's making money is who? Is the owner. Those Muslims. Those girls mostly are Jewish girls or Christian girls, or from the other Arab. So now they kidnap them and they are forcing them, and the one who's making money is the men, the owner of the slaves, not the slaves. Slave, she herself, she is owned by the guy. The slave herself is owned by the girl, by the guy. How she can make money?
No, this is like the pimping. Like, the understanding is, of course, they are not playing directly. The money the owner is receiving, it's the payment for her to get free.
Why she will go free? Who is going to give her free? You see, you cannot free her by giving her money, because the money she earned is going to go to the owner. She cannot buy her freedom. He owns her. He will say the money is mine. And the verse says it clearly. This is about prostitution.
But sorry, is it
my friend,
also
my friend?
Just a second.
You can argue as much as you want. The verse is so clear. The Muslim men, they are forcing their girls to do prostitution. What is the purpose? They are forcing them.
No, but what I see in the verse right now,
who is forcing who?
The owner are forcing the slave.
Okay, why the owner will force her if the money will go to the girl?
The verse is showing to earn their freedom for a certain sum.
Where it says freedom? Where do you get this from?
No, the screen which you're showing me.
In the screen here it says that those women, they will get freedom?
Yeah, you see, to enable them to earn their freedom for a certain sum.
Here in the translation says that?
The one you're showing in your screen right now.
Is that in the Quran? This is false. Don't you see this a bracket? This is false. There's nowhere it says that. What a freedom. The money she make is going to go to the pocket of the owner. She cannot buy herself. He owns her. Whatever in her pocket is owned by him. He is the one who is forcing her. You do not need to do that. He can sell her if you want. But what does that mean? He will never sell this woman. She is making him money. The money will not go to her pocket. This is a false translation. You change the translation here, all of this will be go. You change the translator. Change the translation. All of this is gone. Where is freedom? Where is the, you know, what is this about? What is freedom? All of this is a false. It does not exist in the Quran.
But even the tafsir was speaking about the same what I told you before.
Okay.
Now I don't have the tafsir, but
So
that was what they showed
okay.
me.
So if I show you which tafsir you think is the one is legitimate?
We can take Ibn Khadir because I think most of the time they always show me Ibn Khadir or
Ibn Kathir?
Ibn Khadir or Maduri or Jalalain. These are the names
Okay.
which I know.
I can show you all. You can read them all by yourself. There we go.
Just a quick thing. You showed me the verse before, and it was also written that to those women. So the
All right, my
God
friend.
is
All right.
merciful to
Okay,
them.
okay. So listen. Here, this is the start. The verse is long. It's speaking about many things. Let us go to the prostitution part. Okay. All right. Where is the part of the prostitution? I don't see it. Here we go. Let's see here. All right. So, and do not compel your slave girls for your handmaids to prostitution, fornication, when they desire to chaste, to obtain the therefrom. This desire is the cause of an act of compulsion. So that statement is not properly a conditionals that you may seek through such a compulsion the transit things of life of this world, where it says about freedom, you know. Here it says, this was revealed regarding Abdullah ibn Ubay, who used to force his slave girls to earn money through the fornication. Do you see it? He's the one who
Yes.
he is the one who made the money, not them. What freedom? What is all of the garbage? Why somebody when to sell a cow is giving him milk? By what? By making milk? By people buying the milk. This is his milk. The whole girl is his. She cannot make his own money. So he forced them, you know, to make money. Did Muhammad say shame on you? No. Did he forbid him? No. All of us, we knew that the Muslim, they practice muta, correct?
Yes.
What is the difference between this and the muta? Nothing much. The difference is that the money in the case of the muta, it's done with the women. She is free, so she collect her money. Here, the owner collected, but it's the same. Both they get wages. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Islam promote fornication and business. The women, she got paid for sex. As simple as that.
Okay, good. Because I couldn't, because when I talked to them, I couldn't explain them because the explanation they gave me, that's the thing I'm telling you. The explanation I get from them is different from your explanation. And
you know,
that was I'm there in between.
Let us say, for the sake of argument, Christian Prince explanation, all of it is false. But you saw the videos of Fifi and her friends saying clearly it looked like it's okay to be a pimp. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the
So
video.
let us say Christian Prince is fabricating things, as Muslim they say. Well, this is their own friends. They are saying it looked like it's okay to be a pimp, and they laugh. They said, yeah. So the verse is so clear. It's okay to be a pimp. Or what happened? A person came to Muhammad saying, your men. There's a woman. Her name is Umayma. She been forced by a man, his name Abdullah ibn Abi Salul. So this Umayma, this woman, he used to force her to do prostitution. And the story came to Muhammad. He says, force them not. And if you force them, Allah is all merciful. So he did nothing. He did not stop him from doing it. He did not force him to stop doing it. He did not tell him, shame on you to do so. He did not punish him for doing so. Didn't Muhammad punish him for prostitution? No. Or what he said to them, actually, he gave them a license. If she agreed, it's fine. If she didn't agree, it's fine too. Allah will forgive them. Why Allah will forgive them? They did not commit anything. Because if you force someone to do something, this is not his sin. So the forgiveness here, the statement of forgiveness is stupid. You don't forgive someone. She's been forced into prostitution. She did not commit sin. It's not her fault. She's been forced to. If somebody put a gun in my head and said to me, shoot this guy, or I will kill you, and then I shoot, is it me who shot the guy? No, I never wanted to do so. I've been forced to. So even by civil law, the one who forced somebody to do something is the one is guilty, not the one who did it.
I remember now there's a hadith, helped me with it, like the slave mates of the, like, and the Prophet, they used to like, I don't really remember, they used to like trade it between them. Do you know this hadith? Did you remember?
They use what?
They
Exchange.
used to like,
Yeah.
exchange, yes.
Yeah, exchange,
can you
yeah.
just show, can you show me
there is
because
something,
this is something I just remembered right now.
Yeah, but you know, this is taking long. You know, I need to go soon. Maybe next time you come. But there is something you can search online. It's called the exchange of vagina. In Arabic, it says isti'arat al-furuj. Isti'arat al-furuj, which means you rent. You take my female. I take your female. So you said that you speak Arabic?
No, I don't speak Arabic, but I've seen, I remember you have taken it sometime in your life to someone. And that's why I remember, and you're now just speaking about it. I remember this hadith you showed once.
Yeah, there's tons of them. They are not only one or two, or, you know, there's endless, endless numbers of, as an example. Let's see. Let me show you like one reference to go. This is a Sunni website. And this is a book, it's called Al-Muhalla bil-Athar by Ibn Hazm. Ibn Hazm is very well known, big name in Islam. So Muslims cannot say they don't accept him. All right? You see the name? Can you see it?
No, I don't see it in my screen. It can be because of the
All right.
connection.
So here it says, all of this is about exchanging, you know, slaves and having sex with the slaves. You know, slaves is just for sex. You know, slaves is just to boom boom.
Will you translate in English? Or I can read in Arabic.
You can use the translation. I will give you the link. You can use the translation yourself. Even Muslim women, they exchange sex, like they bring their husband, a sex slave, and they say sleep with her.
Abu Muhammad, may God have mercy on him, said, whether it was a woman who made her slave woman permissible for her husband, or a relative of a mahram who made his female slave permissible for his relative, or a foreigner who did that, we mentioned Sufyan's statement about that, and it is clearly very wrong, because he made the child the property of his mother's owner, and he was correct in this, then he made him a follower of lineage through his mother's lineage, and this is a gross mistake.
So here, he is not against doing that because they should not do that, but because what about the lineage? Who is going to be the father? So here you see, yeah, here you see other side of the Muslims. They are not saying this is wrong, this is evil, because this is evil. It's about who is going to, going to be the father of this person. You are giving him a rod, and everybody is going to jump on her. And it's about, do they have the right to do that? Like, do you own her? Is she yours? So here we see as an example. There's many, actually, all those here is about those issues. All of this about slavery. All of this. About sleeping, as an example. Here, this is Ibn Abbas saying the following.
Ibn Abbas said, if a man's wife, or his daughter, or his sister makes her slave girl permissible for him, let him have sexual intercourse with her and she is hers, and let him put it between her hips. Ibn Juray said, Ibn Tawas told me on the authority of his father that he did not see anything wrong with it, and he said, it is permissible, and if she gives birth, her child is free, and the female slave belongs to his wife, and the husband is not fined anything.
See? Because he is now the son, supposedly the son of a free man. So they are renting women around. She owned the women. She gave her to her brother. She gave her to her husband. She gave her to her neighbor. She gave her to anyone she want. Sleep with her. She is like a goat. She said to her, go and sleep today with this guy. This is their books.
Yes, I remember this. But see, sorry to interrupt you. It's getting very late here. We can continue with this topic next time. And not this topic, there something else I would like to speak to you.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this ugly one.
Attar said, what he liked to do, and what I heard from him was proven. He said, I heard that the man used to send his daughter to his guest. Abu Muhammad, may God have mercy on him, said, this is a saying and this is what Sufyan al-Thawri said, pages 207, Malik and his companions says, there is no limit to that at all.
The translation is false. It says no limit. It says there's no had, which means there's no penalty. So this is about a man. He had sex with a slave, and the slave gave him a daughter, his daughter. And yet he is asking his daughter to go sleep around. He command her to go and sleep with this guy or that guy. So this is his daughter from a slave, and it says here, there's no penalty for the one who do that. No penalty. This is his daughter. This is not even just a slave. This is his daughter from that slave. This is Islam. All right?
Of course, just a quick response to this. Is it not because of, in the Quran, there is like permissible, having sex with mates? This is why I'm telling you, if I get this answer, if I talk to them and they tell me it's permissible, so what should I?
First
Did
of
you
all,
get my point?
principle for what?
No, they can tell me it's permissible, like in the sleeping with the mates. It's permissible in the Quran. So that's why they don't see
First of all,
anything wrong with it.
in the Quran, it's mentioned not to have sex with the maid, to have sex with the captured women only. And that again proved Muhammad to be a false prophet. The Quran says, Malakat aymanakum, the women are captured from war. All right? And
So you mean mates in this divorce, like this hadith of Tafsir you show me, they're not talking about the spoils of war.
in the chapter of about prostitution, it doesn't even say slave. It says fatayatakum, your girls. It doesn't say even slaves. Fatat in Arabic means a young girl. Fatayatukum, your young girls. Nowhere it's mentioned the word slave. However, a Muslim should not have sex or not allowed to have sex with women unless she is his wife or a woman he captured. And all those verses saying that. And then again, Muhammad, he have sex with Mary the Copt, which is not captured. She was a gift given to him from the ruler of Egypt. So Muhammad again, he broke the teaching of the Quran, and he slept with women. He made her lawful for him, even though she is not lawful. And the Quran is so clear that those who they are your right hand process are the only one you can sleep with them without marriage. Only. Because they are captured in war. This is why the chapter you mentioned to me, chapter 4, verse number 3, it says, if you cannot be just, then sleep with the slaves. And do you see the word captive?
No, not captive, but the right hand process.
A captive, which is your right hand possessor, the captive is right hand, is not a maid. A maid is not a captive. Right hand possess mean you took it by hand, not by money. You earn her by your hand, by the sword, not by buying her. Anyway, my friend, either we say Islam is bad. If there is one thing about Muhammad is evil, Muhammad is evil. So those people, they keep filtering and try to defend. And then you need to remember that the interpretation, I use the interpretation against Muslims, not because I believe in the interpretation. Absolutely not. All the interpretation, they are full of fabrication to defend the Quran, to defend Muhammad. However, I use it when the Muslim deny what it says. But I don't accept the interpretation of any Muslim. All Muslims are liars. All interpretation is made to defend Muhammad, not to explain the Quran. This is why you see that those interpretations start to be printed and made long after Islam, because people, they start making questions and accusation. Like Ibn Kathir, he is not explaining the Quran. Ibn Kathir is defending the Quran. And if you ask the same people you talk to, do you accept Ibn Kathir? They will say some, you know. So Ibn Kathir is a scholar when they want. He is a potato when he want. For me, I use the word say scholar. This is scholar according to them, not according to me. Otherwise, I believe all the Muslim scholars are a bunch of idiots. They have zero education.
It's good you told me, because it's clear for me, as you told me why you use the interpretation, because when I use the same logic with them, they say the interpretation is saying something else, as what I understand.
You know, the Quran is just a collection of, let us say, rules to serve the man, to serve the Muslim who is going to fight for Muhammad. It's not made for justice. Because why, first of all, why we allow them to have slaves and they are forcing them for, why wouldn't say the one who forced a slave into prostitution, we are going to kill him? Why Muhammad says, shame on you? Why Muhammad says Allah will all forgiven? Why is being so easy? Muhammad, he did not see it as a bad thing. And when he say force them not, yet they still come for us. You see, if I say don't drink alcohol, but I don't come with the penalty, that means the Prophet says don't drink. It's up to me to drink or not, because there's no penalty. The second you see a penalty is where things change. That means it's command to make it totally forbidden. As an example, in the Quran, it used the word ijtanib or ijtanibu. I cannot see my screen. Oh. All right. اجتنبوا, like here as an example, chapter 5 verse number 90 is about drinking. But nowhere in the verse says, if you do drink, we will punish you. It says avoid it. Just avoid it. Where is the penalty? The penalty will find in the hadith. In the verse here, in front of us, this verse, it says avoid. Why? It's from shaitan. Will avoid. Here it says abomination, but this is false. It says this is dirt, filth. فاجتنبوا. So avoid. Here a translation saying eschew. where the forbidden for alcohol? You will find in the hadith. There's a huge difference between says avoid it and it's forbidden. When I say avoid, it's an advice. It's not a command. It's not a necessary. Avoid. You see? Avoid. Imagine you say, you make a law, you says avoid crossing the street when it's red traffic, red light. No, you should say don't, not avoid. Because avoid can be, well, unless it is necessarily, avoid, it's an option. It's advice. All right?
Get your point, CB, of course. Thank you for this time.
In the same time, the same book which says to you that alcohol from shaitan is the same book says to you that alcohol is from Allah. And Allah, He praise alcohol saying, this is even a sign from God. Chapter 16, verse number 67. So how in the other verse says this is from shaitan, and the other verse says this is a sign from Allah for those who have wisdom? In Arabic it says ayah, which means it's a miracle. So to be drunk is a miracle from Allah. And the Quran uses clear words. This is good, good. You make good provision from it. You make good money, good income. It's a miracle from Allah. And the Quran call it rizqan, rizq. Allah, He give you wealth from it. Why Muhammad here in this verse is praising alcohol? How it is goodly provision if it is from shaitan? But here you see Muhammad, the hypocrite, when nobody accused his followers that they are a bunch of drunken, Muhammad was okay with the followers when they are drunk all the time. But when they start laughing at him because they are drinking and praying and they are falling apart. So the Arab, they said, look, Muhammad and his followers, they are falling apart when they pray. So what Muhammad he said? He did not even say it's forbidden for you. He says, oh, who you believe, avoid praying when you are drunk. Not avoid drinking. Avoid praying when you are drunk. Drunk. And this is why Muhammad was praising alcohol in the other chapter. All of them, they are a bunch of drunk, including him. But the second they start making fun of him, how he allow such a thing around him. He claimed to be prophet of God. Other issue about Muhammad, and we finish with this. If Muhammad is a prophet of God, we know the story about Jesus. He went to the temple and he flipped the tables over people who sell and buy outside the temple, in the outskirt. The temple have many yards. Out. They are buying and selling. And Jesus, he flipped the tables. Where is the jealousy of Muhammad over all of this? When the pagan They are going totally naked around the Kaaba. And we don't see one time Muhammad, not a flipping table, is not even making a speech about it. Walking naked. In fact, there is reference about Muhammad watching women going naked around the Kaaba. And you can find those references in my book, Six on Allah. He asked a woman to sleep with him. She was singing that we are showing you what we are showing you, but it's not available. So she is telling the men, the vagina I'm showing you, my breast I'm showing you, it's to show, but not to touch. Muhammad later, he was watching her, he wanted her, and he wanted to sleep with her, the same woman. But Muhammad never felt jealousy that men and women going totally naked in the most holy, sacred mosque for Muslims, according to Muslims, because he's a false prophet. What Muhammad was afraid from, to say, hey, shame on you, what are you doing? Naked, totally naked. In fact, the dogs used to pee in the mosque. And Muhammad, he never sprinkled or clean. He never even kicked the dogs out of the mosque. If Muhammad is a prophet of God, he should be jealous against any act will be an insult to God. Dogs are coming in and out and pissing, and Muhammad and Muslim never even sprinkle. So you can imagine the dog piss all over the mosque and the smell. In fact, there's a story about a Bedouin man. He went inside the mosque in the presence of Muhammad. The Muslims are praying. He unzipped, he started pissing. The Muslim, they wanted to stop him. Muhammad, he said to them, let him finish. Let him finish. Muhammad cannot be a prophet of God. There is no way someone, he is a prophet of God, he will allow all those things. People going naked around the Kaaba, practicing sexual rituals, dogs getting in and pissing all over the place, and they never clean, as you see. And this Al-Bukhari, a man going inside the mosque and he piss standing in the middle, and nobody stop him because Muhammad forbid them from stopping him. All of this telling us that so-called sacred mosque or the holy ground or the house of Allah is a joke. For Muhammad is the last one to care for it. In fact, he promote bringing najasa, which means filth, to the house of Allah when he allowed dogs to do that, when he allowed a man to piss. If there's any Christian will allow anybody to go inside the church and piss in the middle of the church? This is a normal person will not allow that. If there's any Muslim will allow anyone to go inside the mosque and piss? Muslim will not allow that. Muhammad he allowed. For he is satanic. If Muslims they kill the person, they will kill a person for a cartoon. But they will not be angry for dogs pissing inside their mosque, a man pissing in the mosque, women and men going naked around the Kaaba. All right, my friend. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So anyway, like if somebody don't want to believe in something, you cannot convince him. And if you want to go to Muslims, they will never agree in what I say. If you expect Muslims to agree with me, that means those Muslims are out of Islam already. But we are showing you reference. We're not making things up. There's no way a person who is in love with his God and he is a prophet of God, he will allow dogs to piss inside the mosque.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning